Okay, thank you. Thank you for bringing the students today. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to do something a little bit different today in that we're trying to capture what we're doing and the effort we're making. We've been doing this for about 2 years now, I think, and we want to keep growing it. My wife and daughter and I, our family, we fund it in perpetuity, which means it's just going to keep going long after I'm gone. So I'm going to try to keep tweaking it as we go. And my daughter's here, and she'll take it, and maybe my grandkids someday, okay? So we're gonna try to capture some video today, if you don't mind, okay, of what we're doing, okay? So first of all, we're honored to be here, my wife and I, very honored. We wanna thank the Broward College for setting this up. Originally, we were doing it in my son's name, and we were looking to try to do it as scholarships, which we do through our Rotary Club. And when we were talking to Broward College, they came up with the idea of a program that could go on in perpetuity, and we just lit up and thought, this would be fantastic. We're going to tell you our story today a little bit, some highs and some lows, and give you something to think about. But I think all of you, when we finish today, will feel it was worth coming today. You're not going to feel like, oh, this is another boring class or whatever. This is going to be things that will stay with you, I think, for life, if I do it right. So hopefully I will. Anyway, so originally it was set up for automotive, aviation, and marine mechanics, and now we're introducing supply chain and building construction, because last class, when we were here, there was a lot of dialogue that came into ethics in other industries, and kind of a light bulb went off, why don't we try to get some more people into the class, and that's our plan. A lot of hard work went into this. Go to the next slide. Oh, I got clear.
Forward, that's right.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. Where do I point it? Sorry.
Don't forget anywhere, just push the button.
I did. This button here, right? The side button?
You got an issue.
You can just dance for me. Can you just do it for me?
Yeah.
I'll just give you the nod each time. Okay.
There we go.
Yep, back up one. Okay, so some thank yous quickly. I want to thank Nancy Patero. She's a friend of mine. I was in Rotary with her for a long time. Different networking groups with Nancy, huge in the community. Jim DeChant, who's here today, has been a huge help. Dean Russell McCafferty, and also Dean Carla Pinto. They've been fanatically focused on making this program work. Whenever I make any kind of suggestion, whenever, boom, it's adopted immediately, and it's greatly appreciated, because it's very important to us. We've been through lots of hurdles during COVID. We did it on Zoom, but we kept the thing going. And it's great to see everybody here today. So let's go to the next slide. So ethics is what we're going to be talking today. Does everybody have any general idea of ethics starting out? A little bit? Okay, a little bit. So there are the moral principles that govern a person's behavior and how you conduct an activity. And why are they so important? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Go to our story. So this is my family. This was in 2006. I think it was taken at First Presbyterian Church, I believe. With my son Michael, my 3 daughters Ashley, who's here today, Chelsea, and Amanda, my lovely wife Pam. And just, you know, we have our own interests. This was my fun car, 1998 Jeep Wrangler. That picture was taken out in Utah. Next slide. This was our boats. We're in the Marine as well. We had a 21 Dusky over in Fort Lauderdale, which we loved. Next one. And then I've been into aviation. I've had a 210, a 421, a PC-12, a Piper Aerostar, and now I fly Gulfstreams for a living. This is a friend of mine in a G4. This is my family. We went to Africa. So you're thinking, man, these guys are living large. Everything's great. It was a phenomenal family vacation. Next one. My son Michael and my daughter Chelsea. Go ahead. Next one. That's working then? Okay. Great. This is my son and I. We climbed Kilimanjaro together in August of 2006. You can see he was already taller than me. This is my son at Westminster High School, junior year, September 2006. Okay, so what's the real story here? So, in 2006, September 2006, Michael wanted a car. He wanted a Grand Am, typical guy, guy car. I said, okay, I'll put up 50%, you put up 50%. We found a car at a major dealership, not a little corner lot. There were some items that needed to be fixed on the car. The dealership said they would take care of it. The dealer called up and said, hey, the car's ready for pickup, and I was out of town. It was supposed to take 4 or 5 days. It was ready in 1 day. I was already suspect. Something's not right. How could it be fixed that quickly? So he kept pounding on my wife. I was out of town. Come on, I want to get this car. I want to get this car. Just like all of you probably would have done the same. And so my wife went down to pick up the car. The dealership gave my wife documentation to say everything was fixed. They left. I talked to them on the phone. I was in somewhere in Mississippi at the time. 10 minutes later on I-95 at Sterling and I-95. Suspense, but that's my son's car. Okay, this was when they towed it from I-95. This was the event. Okay. Next slide. Next slide. By the way, these are his brains on the seat here. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Pause, huh? So Mike was killed instantly when, due to mechanical issues and lack of dealer business ethics, he lost control of his car and it slammed into a disabled tractor trailer on the side of the road at Sterling and I-95. Okay. My wife was following directly behind him when it happened. The impact on our family was completely overwhelming devastation, followed by many years of incredible difficulty in coping with this. When I say many years, I mean, you can imagine, we're, as a family, in meltdown. Ashley had just started college. My youngest was only 12 at the time. I'm having goosebumps right now. It was 2006. I still think about it. It's still with me today. Okay? Could have been avoided if somebody in that dealership said no to the actions that were taken when the car was being serviced. To the best of our recollection, it took a long time with experts looking at it. There were good parts. There were good parts that were taken off the car because it had been a race car, which we didn't know, and inferior parts put back on the car. And in some cases, no parts that were supposed to be on were put back on. And the best we can figure is the right rear of the car dropped down on the right rear tire, and so the car just pivoted to the right, and there happened to be a disabled tractor trailer there. Okay. But he had no choice. It wasn't, oh, he's 17, he's speeding. No, he had his mom following behind him. It was nothing to do with him. But it happened, and it shouldn't have happened. So, what did we do? Besides being in meltdown, my son was at Westminster at the time. You know, they had events for him. We put a tree at off a commercial boulevard on one of their campuses. We put a clock at Westminster. We were just groping for what can we do in a positive way to keep our son's name alive. We did scholarships, and I keep this photo here because look at my wife's face in that photo. Okay, it's a happy event. We're giving a scholarship away, and we're just in a downward spiral. It was so difficult. So it wasn't enough. We were looking for something else that would make a difference and hopefully prevent this tragedy again, and that was the birth of this program. Okay. So today you're going to learn about business ethics. You've likely, if you're working already, you've likely been in this situation to some extent already. Shortcuts that are taken on fixing a car, a boat, a plane, faulty parts, improper procedure, improper documents, false statements, anything, okay? But maybe you're not thinking about what the potential impact on you, on your company, and on your entire industry when you're making those decisions. So today, Professor Kimber is going to take you through the history of ethics and its definitions, discuss some real-world examples of ethical situations, and more importantly, most importantly, in my opinion, is provide you guys and women how do you deal with that situation when your boss is telling you something or your colleagues are telling you something so you can do the right thing and not feel overly pressured to do the right thing? Because there always is a way. It might be as simple as asking your supervisor, hey, help me understand why we're doing it this way. So I've been in Rotary since 1996. It's a service organization. It's all about giving back to the community. I'm a past president of the Fort Lauderdale Club. And they have a four-way test in everything they think, say, and do. And the four-way test is, before they do something, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And so what we're going to be talking about today is when you're making decisions, does it meet this test? Anyway, please, do the right thing and potentially save lives. Thank you for attending today. I greatly appreciate it.